What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome back to my podcast, El Gringo Jarocho, with yours truly, El Gringo Jarocho. Hey, guys, listen. Today we have Chris Kensington, and we're going to be speaking about his photography and his music. So make sure you stick around to the end so you can see some of his amazing artwork and his music. Guys, like and subscribe, comment on the video. I'll make sure to get back to you guys as soon as I can, individually. And again, like and subscribe. Hook a brother up, man. Help me out. Support my podcast. All right, guys. So here we are with Chris Kensington. What's up, Chris?
What up? What up?
Yo, man.
So,
Before we get into this, man, I wanna know or tell us about your upcoming, man.
okay, just a little bit about myself. I'm born in Manhattan, raised in Brooklyn. I was just born in Manhattan though. Like I never really lived out there. I think I lived like maybe a week of like being born out in Manhattan. But we moved when I was a kid because where we were living at it was too crazy, man. We were like in Dykeman. We were like out over there in Uptown. So then we moved to Brooklyn, and then in Brooklyn, that's where I pretty much like was just raised. That's where I grew up. That's where I learned everything. And then from Brooklyn, I moved out to Salt Lake City, Utah when I was like, I think it was like 17 years old, 18 years old, and been back and forth from Utah and New York. Lived out in Utah like 3 times. I'm currently living in Utah right now in Salt Lake City, and been out here for like what is it, 9 years already? 9 years, and just been doing my thing out over here, man. Just my photography. That's something that I've always been doing ever since I was a kid. I've been taking photos, and when I came out over here is when I really put myself out there in the public, because before I was just taking photos for myself, just learning my craft, perfecting my craft. And then when I came out over here, I started doing more like modeling shoots, putting my stuff on online more, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever social medias, whatever platform. And that's when I started building up a name. Like people started realizing, started seeing, who I was, what type of art I was doing with my photography. Then I started doing modeling photography for a few years. I worked for a modeling agency. It was a modeling agency called Ooh La La out over here in Salt Lake. Did a bunch of things with them. From there, branched off to like concert photography. Did a lot of shows out over here, a lot of venues, every genre. It doesn't matter. I've done it all, man. I've done every type of photography, wedding photography, concert photography. But concerts is where I really started like really perfecting just what I do, because in concerts you can't mess up. You have to be on point. You got to know your tool. You got to know your camera. You got to know how to use it. You got to know the lighting. You need to react quick, because you can't reenact those moments. Those are, once in a lifetime moments.
Yeah.
Same thing with weddings. Weddings is another one. But kind of, like now the pandemic happened, so there aren't that many concerts and stuff like that. There's really not much happening. But I've been focusing on a lot of like just abandoned places, like taking photos of abandoned places, um, just places that no one goes to. I don't know. I think it's cool, but you know how it is, man. I mean, you
Yeah.
used to do used to write. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's how I know you. That's how I know
Yeah.
Gabe is through our other homie, Rich.
Yeah.
And Rich, he does graffiti, he writes and stuff. And when we were younger, that's how I met Rich. Was he was doing graffiti. And I think I've known Rich since we both were 12, man. Like we were 12 years old. Um, he was always, the hip hop side, and I was like the rocker kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
side.
I always saw like that difference, man.
You know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
we always connected. We always connected because that's how it was. Like we found out we lived in the same neighborhood, but what connected me, you, Rich, was the streets, was Brooklyn. You know what I'm
Straight
saying? Like
up.
that always connected us. Like even though I was different, like you guys listen to rap and stuff like that. I listen to rock, but then I started getting into more rap and stuff like that because of like Rich and hanging out with Rich and you
Yeah.
guys and other friends and stuff like that. And then I started getting put on to like more rap. Because when I was a kid, I listened to rap and stuff like that. But I mean, what did I listen to? I listened to Vanilla Ice, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because
yeah,
like
yeah.
the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and shit, and you know what I'm talking about. And what else? Criss Cross back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I was a
Yeah.
kid. I was like in second grade, and then later on started getting put into like more of the street stuff, more of that 90s boom bap type of sound. And Rich put me onto a lot of that stuff. And then what connected us was back in the days was street art, graffiti. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, it's one of those things that like even till this day, like I don't do graffiti now, but even till this day, like I'll drive around and I'm just like looking at stuff like, oh my God, what is that? What's that new thing on the wall?
Yeah, I do the
You know what
same
I'm
thing,
saying?
man. I do the same thing, man. But look, man, let me ask you a question, man. What made you go out to Salt Lake, Utah, man? Like you were, I mean,
So
like I left Brooklyn as well, man. But um,
yeah.
what made you move out there?
So I lived here 3 times already, man. The first time it was just one of those things that like I had no say in anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was 17. I had no say. So my folks, we got family out over here, so they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go check that out and buy a house because New York's getting crazy." It seems like every certain 10 years, New York always gets crazy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It gets to a point where people are like, "Yo, this is getting wild right now." So they bought a house and it came out over here. But this third time that I lived out over here, pretty much, yo, it was getting crazy, man. Like the rent was insane. Like they were trying to raise my rent to 2,500, and I wasn't feeling that at all. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah,
like, nah, I ain't feeling that. I ain't feeling 2,500. That's too much already.
way too much.
So, I have family out over here, so I checked it out again, and I was like, yo, I'm just gonna see what's up. I'm gonna see what's up. And being older, you start thinking like, because when I was younger, I always came back to New York because of the nightlife, because of hanging out, because of the shows, because of the partying, because of everything. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
like you could do anything at any moment. You can grab a bite at any time. It doesn't matter. But you grow up older and you're like, like that's not forever. You feel me? Like that's not gonna be forever. You start thinking like, yo, I gotta start doing something. I gotta start, focusing on something, start putting the roots, start building a foundation somewhere. So that's what I started doing out over here. This is where I started branding myself out as a as an artist, I guess, like I do photography, I also do music. Um, those are some of the things that I put myself out there publicly.
Okay. And yo, how long have you been playing the guitar for?
Oh, the guitar? Oh man. Since I was 6. I've been playing since I was 6 years old. But every time someone asks me that, like I tell them I've been playing since I was 6. People think that that's it. Like I'm the sickest guitarist. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna, start shredding and start playing all these crazy solos. But
yeah,
that's not me. That's not me. I've never played the guitar to that point where I could like play solos, where I could listen to a song and like get every note. I could listen to certain songs and try to get it, but I'm not. I don't consider myself a musician. I make sounds. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The guitar. I was 6 years old. That's when my mom, she bought me my first acoustic guitar. She taught me how to play some guitar. From there, I built up and learned a few things. But that's when my mom bought me an electric guitar when I was like 12. And honestly, I didn't like it. In the beginning, I kind of did not like it because I did not know how to use it,
Yeah.
because I was playing acoustic. Like, I'm 12 years old. I'm a dumbass. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
a, I'm
yeah,
a
yeah. I
young kid.
feel you.
I I don't know how to use the amp and what settings are what and this and that. And then I pushed the distortion button on the amp. I didn't even know there was a distortion button, but I pushed it and it changed the guitar, man. And like it
Yeah.
changed the sound. It made it heavy. It made it what I was listening to. Cause back then I was listening to a lot of heavy metal like Metallica and Slayer, you know, Megadeth, bands like that. And then once I started like fucking around with it, that's when I was like, holy shit, this is it. Like this is another world,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
was like
Like,
it was like a fucking like a wave just hit you. Like what the
yeah.
fuck is, yeah, man. It's like you get an
Oh yeah.
adrenaline to when you get introduced to something that you fucking love and you fall in love with it, man. Yeah, I know that feeling, man. And I know you have a one man band.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
did you
Yeah.
do that?
So I'm in a one man band called it's in Spanish because it's called Jesus Satanas. And just a little explanation on that because a lot of people they'll be like, oh, what is that? Satanic? What is that? Christian? And I'm like, nah, man, it's neither. It's none of that stuff, man. I'm a Gemini, so I combined both, you know, Jesus and Satanas. I combined it. I made it into one word. I took out the last S on the Jesus and I made it into one word
Okay.
because it's duality, man. You know, like one thing can't exist without the other. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like day can't exist without night. You know, it sounds cliche, but God can't exist without Satan. You know, one exists without the other. That's how it is. That's just the balance of life, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do was just form a band, have a name that just like you know symbolize duality. But me, I grew up also listening to a lot of horror punk, like the Misfits and stuff like that. That's my favorite punk band. And the Misfits, you know, growing up listening to a lot of that growing up, and it was just it changed my life, man. Like because I didn't know that there was punk rock, but then there was also horror punk, like punk
Yeah.
rock that talks about like you know Halloween and horror stuff. So that was a big influence. And then the one man band, it's because I've been in a lot of bands, man. Growing up in New York, you know, you meet a lot of people, you meet a
Yeah.
lot of talent and stuff like
A
that,
lot.
and a lot everywhere. And honestly, I've been in some bands where it hasn't been good. You know what I'm saying? It's just been stressful because being in a band is like it's like being in a big relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just
Yeah. I heard
one
that, man.
big
I heard that.
relationship,
Yeah.
one big relationship, and that's stressful, man, because it's like you know, depending on the band, it could be like four other dudes or five other dudes, and who knows? But it's stressful. There's only been one band that I was, you know, that I felt good about when I was in New York, man. Shout out, man, to my homie, man, my Colombian homie Fuhi. He's a drummer out over there in Queens, and you know, our bassist Milton, he was the other homie out over there, man. When I used to jam with those two guys, we were in this punk band, but we were all Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So we had like kind of like Hispanic influences to music too. So we formed that punk band, and it was going to be like more like kind of street and gutter, but Spanish influence, like singing in certain songs in Spanish and stuff like that. That's where Jesus Satanas comes in, like the whole singing in Spanish, because I wanted to form a one man band because, like I said, I'm kind of traumatized from being in bands that never worked out before.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it all myself and just you know have total control of the music and how it's written and how it's done and stuff like that. But I wanted to form this like electro punk band that's a one man band, but I was thinking I was like I don't want to sing in English,
Hmm.
you know, because if I sing in English, a lot of these bands they sound British. I'm not trying to sound British. I'm not British. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm Hispanic, man. I'm Ecuadorian. So I don't want to sound British in my song. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna brushing up my Spanish and start singing in Spanish, and that's it. You know, that's how it was born.
Have you noticed like an improvement in your Spanish, man? Because like to be honest, my Spanish has gotten a lot better since I've been out here, man. Like 100% better. I mean, I still don't speak it very well. There's still a lot of words and I don't understand and I can't pronounce. But do you feel like your Spanish has gotten better? Because I know, I mean, I don't know. Did you speak Spanish at home?
So yeah, I grew up speaking Spanish. Um, I learned English as a child, and then always, my folks they taught me Spanish, so I was bilingual growing up. But where I really got better with Spanish, where I feel like I was at my ultimate strength
Mhm.
speaking Spanish was in high school. That's where it got strong. It was in high school, man. But the reason being is because I remember, you know how in high school they make you take like a second language.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
They'll be like, yo, take a second language and stuff like that so you can learn and become a better person or whatever. But for me, I was like, you know what? That sounds good. I'm gonna learn Italian, right?
Yeah.
And for like I think like the first 2 3 days, I was like, what the hell did I just do, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, there's no way I'm gonna pass this class at all, dude. Like, no way. And you know what they say? Oh, Italian's close to Spanish.
Yeah,
It kind of is. It
kind of
kind of
is a
is
little bit.
like certain words, but once you start like actually speaking it, like, yo, it's different. Once you
It's
start
yeah,
throwing, the verbs and start conjugating sentences and stuff like that, like, nah, dude, it's another world.
yeah.
And when I was in high school, I don't know about you, but for me, I kind of was like the guy that would try to do the least amount of work, but pass. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like you know
I
what I'm
feel you.
talking about.
I barely went to school, man.
Yeah, you see, I didn't cut. I didn't cut. Like when I was in high school and stuff like that, the only time I ever cut was for like if a new CD came out. Like I would leave my last class and like go to Nobody Beats the Wiz. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, man. Fuck yeah, dude.
So, but in high school, right? Like I just tried to get the the best grades without doing the most work. So I switched. I switched from Italian to Spanish, man. And I was like, yo, this is it. Like I'm a dumbass if I do fail Spanish. You feel me? Like, but so I was like, yo, easy A. You feel me? Like easy A. But it became too easy because like I kept passing. I kept like passing all these classes, like all the tests and stuff like that in Spanish, everything. So then like the jig was up, bro. Like they found out. They're like, yo, are you Spanish native? And I'm like, I was born in the US. You feel me? I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
born in New York and stuff like that. But my folks are Spanish. And then that's when they were like, yo, we gotta put you in like a higher level Spanish. And I was like, oh, word. So that's where my Spanish like became like polished. You know what I'm saying? Like my Spanish was shiny back then because we had this one teacher. Oh man, this guy looked like who do he look like, man? He looked like Carl Winslow from
From the Fresh
look,
Prince.
no, Family Matters,
Oh, from
bro.
Family
Family
Matters. Yeah,
Matters.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yo, he looked like Carl Winslow from Family Matters, and he was this Panamanian dude. His name was Mr. Morgan. Yo, that dude was the toughest, bro. That dude, he wasn't messing around. Like
Damn.
he pretty much was trying to get me to like fail, but he could never get me to fail because like I just knew Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So but I remember parent teacher conference and stuff like that. He would talk to my parents and be like, yo, your son is lazy, but he gets good grades.
Damn, man. And yo, how did you come up with that name, Jesus Satanas, for your band?
Just the duality, because I'm a Gemini. So because I'm a Gemini, I just said, you know what, let me do something that's like both. Because yo, you want me to really break it down? I'll break it down,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know how like when Jesus, like if according to the Bible and everything like that, when Jesus came out, like everyone was like so scared of Jesus, man. Like they didn't believe in him. You feel me?
Yeah.
They didn't believe in him. They're like, who is this guy? Like this dude's like a sorcerer. You know what I'm saying? They kind of shunned him. They kicked him
Yeah.
out of places and stuff like that. They didn't believe him, you know? So like and then also like Satan or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like the church and stuff like that exists till this day because of Satan. They, you know, the church, they scare you. They tell you, hey, if you don't do this, Satan's gonna come get you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yo, come on, man. Like we never even seen Satan in our lives. You feel me?
Yeah.
We never even seen we never seen Jesus. We never seen God. That doesn't mean that doesn't exist or whatever. But the whole concept of the band is just like how society can just turn their backs on one thing, and then later on, you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
accept it because they understand it. That's
Okay.
kind of like the birth of this band. Like you might not get it, but then later on, you know, people are gonna get it. They're gonna be like, holy shit! Like, what is this? You know,
Fuck,
this
that's
is good.
fucking interesting, man. That makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah, and do you consider yourself like a religious person?
So, you know, I grew up you know, like when I was a kid, you know, I would go to church with my mom and stuff like that. But we weren't like religious. You feel me? Like
Catholic?
wasn't like that. Yeah, Catholic. Like you know, my mom prays. You know, my dad prays and stuff like that. Me, honestly, to tell you the truth, like the concept of those things is nice because it unites people and stuff like that. It brings people together. But man, I could get real deep in this, but I
Go
just
ahead.
I don't like the history behind all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
colonial colonialization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
like just like these like religious people and the crusades and stuff like that, just going into indigenous land and forcing people to become that religion and killing people if you're not of that religion. Like that's fucked up. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That
Like
is kind of
how
fucked
you
up.
gonna that, you know, that's fucked up. And yo, honestly, like I feel like during those times when the Catholic religion got strong and stuff like that, it was all about power.
Yeah.
It was all about wiping out, you know, it was about wiping out who's not a part of you, and whoever's a part of you, you know, you manipulate through that religion. So that's the fucked up part. But the whole like believing and having faith in something and like, you know, having positive vibes and not being fucked up to someone, you know, like and like being good to someone else and you know, like having good energy and stuff like that. I believe in that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's just good stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like don't be fucked up. Don't do people dirty. You know, be good. I believe in that. You know, the whole like Satan stuff, like, you know, there's certain stuff like that, like because I've read everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just growing up, like I'm a nerd. I read a lot. So growing up, like you want to know what's the truth, what is what. Like I've read a lot. So I've read even, you know, like certain philosophies like Anton LaVey, like the Satanic Bible. I've read that.
Mhm.
I checked it out. I even had a course in college that, you know, referenced that. And we had to, you know, see what this was because that book is just existentialism, it's self-existentialism.
Mhm.
Do I believe in it? I don't believe in anything like that. I don't believe in like, you know, like statues, praying to a statue.
Mhm.
I don't believe in books. I believe in just being a good person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
when I say books, correction, when I say books, I don't believe in those type of books. I
Yeah.
believe in getting knowledge and like learning and stuff like that. That's what I believe in. But you know, I believe in just being a good person, just doing what you got to do. Don't be fucked up. Don't
Yeah.
fuck people over. Don't be greedy. Help help one another out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I was similar to you, man. I think it's as a Hispanic thing, you know. I also
Yeah.
grew up going to church every Sunday. My parents
Hmm.
weren't like so religious, but we would go every Sunday to church. A lot of things happen in my parents'
Which one?
lives.
On Fourth Ave?
Fourth Avenue and 9th Street, man.
Did you go to the one on Fourth Ave and like Ninth Street? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, bro.
That
That's the
big one.
one.
Yep.
Yeah. So like something
Yep.
happened
Yep.
there, you know, with my parents. My parents had a situation with some people and we started going to another church that was like on Fourth Avenue. I don't remember the streets, man, but it's like towards Baltic, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know which one. I know which one you're
Yeah.
talking about. It's
So
like by a
we,
train.
yeah. So we started going there, and some other shit happened, you know. So then we went back to Fourth Avenue and Ninth Street, and then one day I remember my mom comes home, like it was like the middle of the week, and my mom comes home crying. I was like 12 years old. My mom comes home crying, like devastated, and she saw like a kid got fucking run over by a truck on Ninth Street and Third Avenue, you know. And
Yeah.
my mom, well, you know, I have a brother that passed away. You know, my mom after that, you know, she didn't believe in anything, you know, but she's somehow started going back to church, and when she seen this accident, you know, my mom's like, how is it possible that a god exists and so much evil happens, you know what I mean? And we just stopped going, you know, we stopped going. And I would still pray like in the evenings, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like when I was a teenager, I was in a gang, you know, and like a while after joining, I found myself praying at night, man, because like I would get jumped in middle school. You know, my friends would get jumped. Another friend of mine got fucking a buck 50 in his face. You know,
Yep.
and it was like that time like, where the Bloods and Crips and the Latin Kings were like popping. You know, it was like the late 90s, early 2000s. And you couldn't even wear red, blue, or yellow because you would get jumped. You know what I
I
mean?
remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, man. So like, we just stopped going to church. I stopped praying. You know, I've been through a lot of shit in my life as well, and I'm like kind of like in the middle, man. Like I believe, but then I don't believe, and I might sound like a hypocrite because I got fucking tattoos that are related. That, you know, they're related to religion. You know, I have a tattoo on
Yeah.
my chest that says "Family and God come first." You know, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be God and family come first, but you know, I decided to put family because you know, for me, family comes first. You know, I have a cross on my arm and then another cross on my leg, you know, like I'm like a fucking cemetery, bro. You know, but
Yeah.
like I'm still in the middle, man. I'm still in the middle, you know, like I know there's there's something out there probably, you know. I just don't know what it is. I don't know exactly what it
Word.
is. You know what I mean?
That's
But
that's that's like the band. That's like the band Jesus
yeah.
Satanas, like being in the middle. Cause like
Yeah.
you're over here, you're over here. You know what I'm saying? You're in the middle. You're not religious, you're not this. I'm in the middle. You know what I'm saying? That's how
Yeah.
I feel too. I feel like that, man. Cause just like you, man, like, growing up in New York, man, you grow up over there and sometimes, sometimes you do certain things, man. Like, but I'm lucky though. I mean, you're lucky too. I'm lucky to survive growing up in New York, man. I've seen people like, you know what I'm saying? People
Yeah.
aren't even here right now because there's been some shit that's popped off or some wild shit
Yeah.
or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yo, you know what? Like in a lot of aspects, like even growing up, like even around the time when I met you and stuff like that, graffiti helped a lot, bro. Cause like even though like, you know
Dude,
what I'm saying? Even though it was
dude,
something bad, it helped. It helped though. It saved us.
dude, you could not have said it better, my man. You could not have said it better. You know what I always tell like my students, my friends?
Right.
Graffiti saved my life, bro.
It really
Graffiti
did, man.
changed my life, man. Like I said, bro, I was in a gang, you know, and I remember like in middle school, bro, I was walking around with a "Hello, my name is" sticker,
Yeah.
and some little white boy came up to me. He's like, "Oh shit, you're Mech," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh man, I see you're all over the school on Fourth Avenue and shit, and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's me." He's like, "Yo, man, we gotta hang out, man. I write Clone Six C6," and I'm like, "Okay, man, yeah. I mean, let's chill, let's hang out." You know, we started hanging out. He
Yeah.
introduced me to other dudes. You know, he introduced me to like fucking Sire. Shout out to him, Sire,
Yeah.
Myth, Rezo, Ozone, Rescue.
Yeah.
Um, he introduced me to all those cats, you know, and like one day I remember Sire, he's like, "Yo, like, get the fuck out of that gang life, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Like, fuck that shit." You know, and they taught me everything there is to know about graph, bro. I used to go to C6's crib. and watch
Yeah.
fucking graffiti videos. You know, he taught me like everything there is to know, man. He told me who the legends were, how graffiti got started and shit. You know what I mean? And like, dude, I just went that path, you know, like I stopped chilling with like these with the gang, you know, and I even went to the superior and I told him, I said, yo, man, like I made up some bullshit, you know. I said, look, man, a family member passed away and I can't be like coming to because I had to go to meetings and shit. I can't come to the meetings. I can't, you know, I can't meet my fucking you had to pay dues, my nigga. Like you had to pay dues. You know, I can't pay my dues right now. Like I can't do this anymore, you know. And he told me, he's like, you know what, man, like you're good, but I can't speak for the rest, you know. Meaning like I might get fucking jumped or something like for leaving the gang, you know. And I just like thank God nothing happened to me, man. But graffiti changed my life, bro. And over the years, a lot of friends of mine, you know, they were either arrested for armed robbery or some other shit. One of my good friends got stabbed by like 10 people on Fifth Avenue and Park Slope. You know, he had
Yeah.
a kid on the way. You know, I was like, damn, man, like I left that shit like right at the good moment, man. Cause and you know, graffiti changed my fucking life, bro. It really did, man. It really fucking did, man. And
It
like,
did, man. It
even
changed mine too.
yeah, dude. And even like, you know, like we were doing bad shit, but like we were just fucking the system over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always been like that, man. Like fuck the system, fuck the government, you know, fuck the
That's
city.
that's the reason why like I started doing it. Like what's it called? Like I got into it when I was like in junior high school as well. That's when I got into it. Because growing up, I was just like a wuss. You know what I'm saying? Like in elementary school, I didn't know much. You know what I'm saying? Then once I started going to like middle school, I got put onto graffiti. I started seeing it. You know, you go to the bathroom, you go to the restroom, you see graffiti all over. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Never seen some shit like this before. And then that's when I started seeing a lot more shit. That's when I met Yokes. I met Yokes. Yeah, I met him, man. I was scared of Yokes when I first met him. I was scared as shit, dude. Because
Word.
yeah, dude, I
Like,
was scared as shit. Because yo, I was still dressing up like a dumbass. Like I didn't even have style. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have
yeah,
style
yeah,
back
yeah,
then. I had like Dockers and like a polo shirt and like cardigans. You feel me?
yeah.
Like that's what I was wearing and shit. And then there was this one kid named Robert. This one Polish kid. This Polish kid though, he was thugged out, but like he hung out with like all like these like black Haitian kids and stuff like that. He was kind of like a dork, but like kind of thorough, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like
feel
like
you.
he
I
had
feel you.
respect though. So you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we'd pick on him, but in the end, like we had that kid's back. You feel me?
Yeah.
That kid's name was Robert, and I was walking with them to take the city bus and stuff. This was like, yo, I used to go to Shallow Junior High School on 16th Ave and like 65th Street, Bensonhurst.
Yeah.
I used to go over there, and my homie Robert was like, yo, let's go to the back of this building and see if my other homies are over here. And yo, lo and behold, boom, Yokes is there, bro. This nigga Yokes, he had sunglasses on. He had sunglasses. He had a backwards cap, like, and he had a cigarette like hanging from his mouth, and he's all like catching a tag on the back of a building, bro. And I was like, holy shit! Like I'm over here, like I think I was like 11 or 12, and I'm like, oh man, like I shouldn't be around cigarettes or graffiti or anything. And I was just shitting my pants, like I was just scared.
Yeah.
But then later on, like I got into skating and then graffiti and stuff like that. And then I reconnected with Yokes after that. Then later on, like, like in our 20s and stuff like that, we started doing we started getting up. We really started getting up, man. Like just planning shit out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like I would call him or text him. And because I used to have like a delivery job. I used to deliver car parts and stuff like that.
Okay.
So when I used to do that, I was everywhere. I used to be all over. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like scoping out spots, bro, just like everywhere and anywhere. I'd be like, yo, what's that rooftop over there? You know, like look at the
Yeah.
street over here. And I had like a notepad and I would just like just write stuff down and just let Rich know about it. You know what I'm saying? So then Yokes and I, we would plan it out, man. Like Fridays, Saturdays, like we were working men, but like we would come out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
after work, to plan shit out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like leave your house at like 11 p.m., 12 a.m. and stuff like that, and start really getting out there and planning shit out. Yo,
Yo, don't you
that's what
miss
it was.
carrying a marker and shit like at all times, dude? You never left the house without a marker. Remember?
Oh man.
Those were the days, bro.
I always used to have like a backpack or like, well, you know,
Yeah, man.
it's what it is, man. But that was, I think, like around 2004, 2005. That's when like Nextels were around, and me and Rich, that's how we used to get up. Like Rich would be on the corner. He'd be on the corner. He'd be on the corner with the Nextel, and he'd be like, "Yo, you're good. You're good. Go ahead, do your thing." And I would go do my thing, and then I would just leave it. I would leave the can on the floor, you know, and then I'd go to the corner and check the coast to see if it's clear, and then you know we used to get away like that.
Yeah, man. Yo, but
But it saved us, man, because it took us we were in the streets,
mhm.
but it saved us.
No, yeah, I remember those days, man. And actually,
What's up?
I met Richie like, man, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was like 2000. Ah, man, no, I don't remember, bro. I think it was like maybe 2000. God damn, I know, I
How
don't
did you
know.
meet him?
I met him through Rock, and I don't even remember meeting Rock. I don't remember how I met Rock, and then and fucking, well, the other
Those
dude,
guys.
yeah, those guys.
Those guys.
The I met him through them, man, and like some shit happened between Rock and I, and they stopped talking to me, and just I just like Richie, like, well, dude, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a fuck, man. Rock started fucking with my girl, my ex girl, and one of my ex girlfriends, and and then like Richie told me, like, dude, what this dude did to you is fucked up, man. I didn't even know, bro. He's like, I'm sorry, man. If I knew, I would have told you, And I just stuck around with fucking Yokes, man. He was a real motherfucker, man. Like he's always been a real motherfucker, Like that's like my dude, man.
Yeah.
And I love that kid,
Word up.
man. I love that fucking kid, And
Yokes' family, bro.
yeah, dude. Yeah, for real. And then we started doing graph together, and we would go out sometimes. Um, you know, fucking blaze and drink and shit. And then fucking I don't remember how or when I met you. I think it was when we started like biking and shit, right? When we started riding fixed gears.
Nah,
It
bro.
was
I
before
met you
that?
way before that, bro.
Yeah.
I met you way before that.
Do you remember when
Like,
or like where?
yo, I remember when too, bro. Like, yo, I remember we went. Yo, we used to go to parties at that secret beach. We used to go over there with
Yeah.
all of 40K. 40K was there,
Yeah.
like the whole crew. And then even before that, like I'm talking about like maybe 2002, bro. 2002,
Fuck.
2003. Since back then, I remember Rich, who was he? He was, I remember one time we ended up going to Rockaway. We went to Rockaway and I was driving. And
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit.
We
Yeah.
went somewhere. We went to like a party somewhere in like Rockaway, someone's house or something. And like we ended up partying out over there and I drove over there. That's when I met you for like the first time. And that's when I used to write gunk. And you
Yeah.
thought I used to write junk. You were like
Yeah.
junk?
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man, gunk. But that's when I met you back then. And we used to do some graffiti, but like it was like we used to do a lot of stuff. Like where was it? There was like this abandoned fucking building right by the canal. It was a canal. Like I think it was like the Gowanus Canal.
Oh my
It was like some
God,
building.
dude. I used to
There's
go
some
up.
building over there.
I used to go under that on the there was a bridge there. I used to go
Yeah.
with C6 under that bridge and just do pieces, man, in the
Yeah.
daytime, bro, in the daytime. And we used to like,
Yeah, that was a
yo,
safe spot. That was a safe spot back in the days and stuff. Like
yeah,
me and Rich, we used to go to, you remember the dead tracks? Like on
yeah,
like ShopRite Avenue H,
yeah,
those
hell
dead
yeah.
tracks. Like we used to go over there back in the days, man. I used to go there when I was like 13, 14 and stuff.
Do you remember this spot we used to go to? I think it was I don't know, but all I remember is this like this big field and like people like Mexicans used to be there playing soccer. You remember that spot, man? We used to go like when we rode our bikes.
The abandoned park, bro.
That was the abandoned
That
park.
was the that was the abandoned park where, yo, you remember in what was it? What was that movie? Damn, Carlitos
Yeah,
Way,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when that dude Pachanga was like, "Yo, you want us to take you want us to take John Leguizamo right now and throw him by the Belt Parkway in Brooklyn?" That's the abandoned park. That's
Fuck,
what they're
dude.
referring to. That they used to dump bodies in that area, bro. They used to dump
Damn.
bodies like straight up bodies would be out over there, and like they used to dump them out, like growing up like in Southside Brooklyn, like you would always see and hear things. You know what I'm saying about?
Yeah,
Oh, they found something in that park. They because it was an abandoned field. Like no one was there. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? No one
Nobody.
went in there. Only us. We would go in there and like hang out. You know what I'm saying? And drink beers and stuff like that when we were younger. But but yeah, man, like they used to find a lot of bodies, like a lot of snitches. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah,
snitches were found over there.
yeah, yeah. I met Pachanga. You know that? I forgot. I always forget his name, man. Like I think it's like Alex Guzman or some shit like that.
I think so, man.
I
I don't
met.
even know his name, but yeah, Pachanga. I always call that dude Pachanga, bro.
Yeah, man. That dude is so fucking laid back, man. He's so cool. I met him with his kids, man. And when I saw
Oh,
him, I
word.
was like, oh shit, man. Can I get a picture with? I still have that picture, man. I still have that shit. Fucking
Oh yeah.
Pachanga, yo. He's the man, bro. But yo, let me ask you a question, man. Like
What's
you
up?
said you've been doing like photography for like a really long time, right?
Yeah.
What made you like get deeper into it or make it like well because it's basically your career, man. Like you
You
do
know,
it
it's
for a
it.
living, but like what
Yeah.
made you get deeper into that?
You want me to be honest? I'll be honest with you, man. Like I have anxiety and depression. You feel me?
Feel you.
So sometimes when I get into like my I get anxious or depressed or whatever, the camera helps me. The camera helps me to, come go outside and go take photos of things, to see things that I see that sometimes, others might not be able to see. So that is what kind of got me into it deeper. You know what I'm saying? Just like my trying to show the world my perspective, trying to show the world my art through my vision. And, just trying to have people be like, wow, that's a cool photo. And, just like it's my way to kind of communicate, because sometimes like words is just too tough. Like sometimes words is just too direct. Sometimes you just need a visual. You need a
Yeah,
visual image. And that's where I come in with my photography. And, I try to do that. I try to do that in any way possible with my photography. And it's just, something that I love, man. It's just something that I do, something that I do even if it's not a gig. Like I got cameras everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like I leave the house, I have at least one camera on me. Lately I've been taking film photos. I got back into film again, and I take photos with film and stuff like that. But I still do digital photography. I still take photos of abandoned places or just, the streets or whatever, just life, anything. Out over here I go hiking. There's a
yeah,
lot of nature out over here. Hmm.
yeah, man. It actually like I've seen pictures. I've seen your photographs. I mean, they're fucking amazing, man. Like the views and shit.
Thanks.
It's fucking gorgeous, bro. Gorgeous.
Thanks, man.
Tell us about your name brand, bro. You have a clothing,
Well,
right? Something like that.
well, yeah, yeah. Brooklyn Native clothing brand. Every every time I speak about Brooklyn Native, I always give props to Yokes, to Rich. He is the founder and the creator of Brooklyn Native. You know what I'm saying? He is still Brooklyn Native. You know what I'm saying? I run more of Brooklyn Native right now. It's at a pause, but we're getting back into it. You know, we got some designs. We have a design currently working on. It's actually a surprise design.
Nice.
It's, you know, something that will not be spoken about until it's released. I could speak about the artist, you know what I'm saying, that did the design. Um, it's my friend. She goes by the name Lilith Lovelace. She's an artist. She's an amazing painter, you know,
Mhm.
amazing artist, and she's a visionary. I came up with an idea for a new Brooklyn Native shirt. I gave her the idea. She drew it. She sketched it out. It's in the process. So once that releases, I'll be announcing that. But Brooklyn Native, man, it's something that Rich, you know, he created. And I remember out in Brooklyn when Rich was still in Brooklyn, because Rich is out in Salt Lake right now.
Yeah.
Um, he was telling me about Brooklyn Native and everything, and he showed me some designs, and I was just like, "Yo, let's run with that." You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, let's run with that. Let's see how far we can go with that." And at that time, I was like really connecting with, like, you know, rappers, musicians, artists, and stuff like that. And I said, "Yo, you know, I'll pay for some shirts. You know, I'll be an investor. I believe in this, and you know, let's get this going. And I'll do photo shoots over here. I'll get some models, get the brand going. I'll get, you know, like famous people to, like, you know, pose holding the shirt or something like that." And from there, it just like blew up, man. It just
Yeah.
blew up. Like every show that I did, if I got to meet the artist, like I would hook them up with the shirt, you know, take a photo, and, you know, just talk to them about the brand. Then Rich came out over here, and then it just solidified. You know, it got much more stronger after that.
Sick.
You know,
Nice, man. And what about like what's the best part of being a photographer, and like other than being a part of of a concert, for example, like what else do you like about it?
you know what else I like about it? Just just people being happy with, you know, the work. I like that because, you know, I do concerts, I do all this other stuff, but in the end, it's you know, whoever likes the photo, whoever, you know, either hired me or shared my photo or just even likes my work. If they like it, they see it, you know. But when it comes to, like, if I got hired or something like that, and the satisfaction I get is
Yeah.
just, you know, people being happy with the final outcome of what it is. Um, like I've had people just, you know, just contact me through word of mouth, or even just people, you know, finding out, like, "Oh man, I've seen your photos, like, yeah, I want to hire you," this and that. They'll hit up my, you know, my Facebook page or something like that. I once had a kid come up to me, like at the supermarket, some kid, right? I think he must have been like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13. He came up to me, and he was just like, "Oh man, it's you." I started looking around. I'm like, "What's this kid talking about?" You know? And he goes, "Oh man, it's you, man. It's Chris Kensington. You're Chris Kensington photography." And I was just like, "Yeah." You know, I was like, "Okay." And you know, like he was just like, "Yo, can I get your autograph?" And I was just like, "Man, get away from me, man." Like I was just like, are I was like, "Are you pranking me? Are you
Yeah, yeah,
pranking me
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, bro?" Like he's like, "No, bro." He's like, then he started like naming like photo shoots that I've done, concerts that I've taken photos of, models, whatever. And I was just like, "Yo, this kid really has seen my work." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he's really seen my work. And he was like, "For real, man, like, can I get your autograph?" He's like, "I want to like take photos like you one day and everything." And I was just like, man, that was like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like the best moment.
Dude,
Like
and
I you know,
yeah, that's what makes it all worthwhile, man. And in the end, you're doing what you love, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's a win-win, bro. Like it's something that you like doing, and then you and for you know, for you to get recognized like that, it's like the best. I imagine it's the best feeling in the world. Hey
That
man,
was the ultimate.
Yeah, man. I seen that like a while back. You interviewed Lilo Brancato
Oh
from A
yeah. I
Bronx
interviewed him.
Tale.
A Bronx Tale and The Sopranos and a various bunch of movies because he's been acting since forever since he was a kid.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And how was that like, man? What is he like, man?
that's the homie, man. That's the homie. Like he's been through a lot throughout his life. He's been through a lot of things. I know. There's no need to even talk about that
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
anyone that knows him knows that he's been through a lot. But how is he like, man? That guy is he's motivational. You feel me? He's he's inspirational in that sense because he's had to overcome so much in his
Yeah.
life. He at one point of his life he had it all, and then he lost it all, but he built it back up again. You know what I'm saying? Because people still believe in him. People still believe in his story. They feel for him, and I feel like a person that makes art, if they can connect with people even to the point where the fans or the audience or the people are worried about that person even in their personal life, then that means that person is the biggest artist. You know what I'm saying? Because they connected with people. That means they're also human at the same time. So that to me, that's who Lilo is, man. He's just a great human being, a great person, man.
Yeah,
Motivational.
and the interview was awesome, man. Like he seems
Thanks.
very charismatic. He seems like a real down to earth dude. And
Yeah.
when I saw like you gave out like a like this day I'm gonna interview Little Brancato, and I was like, yo, what? Yo, my nigga Chris is doing big things, man. The fuck? Dude,
Yeah,
that's my movie, bro. I've seen that movie like 20 times, man, or more, man. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies, man.
that's a classic. That's a classic right there. But
Yeah.
yeah, Lilo's cool, man. He's a man, like that's the homie. He's the homie right there, man. If I'm ever out in New York, man, I gotta connect with Lilo too, man. See what's up, and see how he's doing and stuff like that. But he's a legend, bro. He could come out and like people still, know him, still reach out to him. They're like,
Of course.
they're like, yo, it's C from,
Yeah.
Bronx Tale.
Dude, he looks
Cologero,
exactly he looks
Cologero.
the same, bro. He looks exactly the same. He hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah, dude.
that was cool, man. I'm good to see that you're doing well. You know what I'm
Thanks,
saying?
man.
Your
You
fucking
too, bro.
photography is awesome. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Fucking I hope to see you again sometime, bro. Like in person, in person. Like I
I gotta
said,
fly out.
you
I
gotta
gotta fly
fly
out to
out here,
Mexico.
man. Yeah, man. I told you, you got a house here, man. You got a
No
house here, man.
doubt.
And it's
Good
beautiful
looking
here.
out.
You're gonna love it out here, bro. Hey, I remember once, like a while back, you were talking about like wanting to leave the states. Like, is that something that you would consider, like moving out of the states, or like
I
just
was
buying like property somewhere else from
I
Ecuador or
was
something?
thinking I was thinking maybe buying a house somewhere, but I don't know. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to like have something in another country, if it's possible and stuff like that. Why not? Sometimes you feel like you got to get away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's always
I
good to
want to
know.
go somewhere warm.
Yeah, dude, is it always cold out there in Utah, like all year round?
Not all year round. We got the four seasons. Right
Okay.
now it's winter. Just last week it was like 50 degrees. Everyone was like in hoodies, you know what I'm saying, and like a thin jacket. But now it's been cold. It's like mad windy. It's been snowing and stuff like that. Utah's known for its snow, so when it's winter, it's supposed to snow. We haven't gotten that much snow, but it's there. You know, it's snowing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've seen pictures. I never been out there, but it looks like a beautiful place, bro. To be honest, like,
It's cool, man. It's cool. It's got, all the four seasons. It's got desert, it's got mountains. Like I'm right now I'm like maybe 20 minutes away from the mountains. Like I could drive into the canyons over there and sometimes, like I'll do winter hikes or stuff like that, In the summertime I'll do a bunch of hikes. That's what I do. I like
yeah,
going on a hike, like sometimes I'll bring Rich. I'll be like, yo, let's go on a hike. We'll bring cameras, we'll take photos and stuff like that. We'll bring like 2, 3 beers or something. You feel me? And like crack open a beer in nature.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's fucking awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, bro, thanks for being in my podcast, man.
Yeah.
You
Thanks for
know,
having me.
yeah, man, I loved hearing your stories, bro. Like, like I always wanted to know, like, exactly how it is that you came about doing photography, and when and you got deeper into music. So, thanks for coming,
Yeah.
bro. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thanks.
Anything
Thanks,
else you want
man.
to say before we leave?
Yo, that's it. Just everything, good energy, good vibes, keep it cool, keep it real. And everyone out there, man, keep your head up. Tough times, but we all got this.
Perfect, bro. Yo, so peace out, bro. Thanks for being here, man.
Peace. Take care, man.
All right.